Hey guys, Eric Cogorno here with Performance Golf. In today's video, we're talking about effortless power. Specifically, how you could actually slow down your golf swing, yet get more power. Now, we're gonna talk through how that works. I've got a couple simple tips for you, 3 things in particular that are gonna really help you out during your golf swing. And these are things you can apply right away on the first tee throughout your entire round. A lot of golfers come in, if you're like me, or a lot of players that I work with, who struggle on the golf course with being tense, feeling like they're putting a lot of force into the shot, and would really love to go and be relaxed, swing nice and easy, yet still get the distance and power that we're all looking for. And ironically, a lot of players that I work with, when they try and create more speed, especially early in the downswing, end up struggling to hit the ball farther, have poor contact, and hit it shorter. So for those golfers, I actually like to teach them to swing slower, make things easier, and almost all the time we end up hitting it farther. Okay, so how do we do this? And if you haven't seen some of our other videos on this before, we'll put a card on the screen here at the end of the video, so make sure you go check that one out. The first thing I want you to focus on is the setup position. So when I work with players and they have a lot of tension, or they feel like, Eric, hey, I'm really feeling like I'm putting a lot of work in. You know, if you go play golf and you're really tired after a couple holes, it shouldn't be that way, right? This should be an easy motion that we're making. But for those players that are struggling with that, almost always we've got an issue right at the setup with tension. So this is specifically grip pressure and really how our hands are at the address position. Now, in terms of grip pressure, right, I like to live in somewhere around like a 5 out of 10 range when I set up. But if anything, if you're real tense, like at the setup, let's say you're 8, 9, 10, or even like 20 out of 10, you really probably want to feel like you're on the lighter end of the spectrum. So if we measured it, we'd want it kind of 5, but you might feel more like 2 or 3. You've got enough like grip of it where you're not going to lose control of the club, but it's still loose enough where you should be able to move the club easily. When I work with someone, they've got a lot of tension, I go in and try and move the club and I literally can't get it out of their hands. That's a telltale sign there's too much tension. Tension means more effort, likely worse golf shots. And so what I like to have my students do, you take your grip of your setup and make sure you can waggle the club around, and it's pretty light in your hands. You should be able to move it pretty freely a couple times. Some players like to go just up and down, right? Just hit the ground, but some sort of movement. The worst thing in the world you can do is be over the ball with a tight grip and no movement, just standing there doing nothing. We want to be loose, we want to be moving. So if I was going to hit my normal 7-iron, my feet are moving, the club is moving, my grip pressure is probably, let's say, like a 4 out of 10 right here. And there's a nice, easy, solid 7-iron out there. Didn't feel like I put a lot of effort into it. And so that's a simple thing, but it's something that affects, it's literally every single shot, right? Grip pressure matters, every single shot that we hit for the rest of our lives. Something simple you can control before you even swing. All right, guys, quick break from today's video. Look, if you want to make massive improvements with your game and actually get way better in 2025, you got to do something different than you've done before. And one of those things that I highly recommend is checking out these 2-day schools that my friends at Performance Golf are hosting. These are with the best coaches in the world, people you see me in videos with all the time, like Martin Chuck, Andrew Rice, Erica Larkin, many more of the top coaches at awesome places all around the United States. We're seeing great results with these schools because what we're able to do when we see you in person is really find and fix the main root issue. Most all of us have like 4 or 5 things wrong with our swing. You can't do them all at one time, but you can find and fix the main one thing, which we can do in person like that. We're able to make massive improvements. I'm talking like maybe 2 years of improvements in only 2 days. So if you're looking for something to really fast track your improvement, this could be the thing that could take you to the next level. We'll put a link in the description down below. Check that out, see if there's a spot available in a location that works for you. Take your setup, a couple of waggles, probably on like a 3 out of 10, right? Every shot I hit, I say to myself, okay, breathe, relax, and get present. And that relax part, when I'm doing that, I feel like I maybe shake out my arms and hands, and I'm relaxed not just in my hands, but my forearms and my shoulders. Couple waggles, I'm moving around, probably 3 out of 10 here, nice and easy at the setup. And there's another solid, very high draw 7-iron shot that didn't feel like I put a lot of effort into it. Now, the second thing beyond the grip pressure, because maybe like, okay, Eric, hey, I've heard that one before. I kind of feel good about that. But gosh, that's one of those ones you need reminders. It's easy to have that good, and then a month later you go back and all of a sudden you're gripping it tight again, right? So use that as a mantra, light grip pressure, a little bit of a waggle. The second thing I like is what we call a mantra. So I learned this from players like Vijay Singh, Ernie Els, guys with these really nice, smooth tempo swings. And Vijay Singh, I heard say, hey, I've got this mantra where I have a count. So what I heard him say is he says 21. So during the backswing, he goes 21. And that's what he feels like he's doing. 21. The one is happening like through the ball into the finish position, but some sort of count, 21, right? Some of my players like something simple like back, right? We'll go 1 and 2. So 1 is back, 1 and 2. 1, kind of giving myself just that little second at the top of the backswing. And then 2, right on the way through, is kind of into the finish position. So 1 back, and is a little bit of transition time. 2 is into the finish. 1 and 2. So as I'm putting these together, I've got my light grip pressure. I got my waggle of my arms, right? I'm feeling relaxed. Shoulders, arms, hands. Waggling the club and my feet. Probably 3 out of 10. I'm gonna go 1 and 2 with my little tempo here on the way back. And in particular, that's probably my best one I hit so far. I like having that swing thought, especially for me when I go play. It's hard to think nothing when you golf, right? Would you agree? Like it's hard to just turn your brain off. You're thinking, don't chunk it, don't hit it in the water, or move my elbow like this. So it's okay to have a thought, but you want to have a simple thought. Like tempo is a nice, simple thought here. Let's do another one. So loose with the arms and hands at setup, waggle with the arms and feet, 3 out of 10. 1 and 2, right? 1 back and in transition, 2 through. 1 and 2. No rushing at all. Feeling like I'm making my backswing right to my finish. Another solid 7-iron. Now the last little thing I'd tell you, because if you do those 2 good, you should be in good shape. Like if you set up and remove the tension, you can move the club around a little bit, and you've got that mantra, we should be pretty good. But the last thing I'll say, when I see people who rush, the swing doesn't look in sync to me, and there's a lot of thoughts in between setup and the finish position. So I like to just have a big picture thought when I'm playing, as I'm feeling 1 and 2, like I'm trying to make the swing back, complete my backswing, complete my follow through, as if there's like nothing happening in between. Of course, we do videos where I say, hey, work on something and a feel if you need it. But in general, right, to have good tempo and effortless power, I want to go backswing. So I feel like I get my hands behind my right shoulder, follow through behind my left shoulder. So I'm like completing the backswing, completing the finish, and feeling like there's nothing going on in between the two. Just a slight variation on the 1 and 2 tempo. So loose with the grip pressure, waggling the club in the feet. 1 and 2. Loose, back, through, right? Something like that, nothing in between. One more, loose with the grip pressure. Feet are moving, club is moving. 1 and 2, full backswing, full finish. Yeah, and that might be my best one. And so that's a great example. I hit that ball very solid, as far or farther than my normal 7-iron, and all I was thinking about was back and through and smooth. I felt like I was actually going slower and rushing less, yet I can gain more distance. So there's a time and place to train speed, right? We've done videos on that, but you want to keep it simple like this. Those are 3 little techniques you can use on the range right away on the golf course. They're going to really help you go play and enjoy the game and not feel so stressed and tense out there. If you enjoyed today's video, click that subscribe button, like it, leave a comment. Appreciate you guys watching.